So once again, Harry met Larry. Uh, Harry was a bit worried for his own mate because he'd never actually seen Larry so down. But he was doing his bit. He was trying to share stuff. He was helping him. Larry was certainly feeling overwhelmed and definitely not the only person to have felt that. Uh, so yeah, an interesting journey for our little friends. Um, and one that continued when they met next, and the conversation turned to value-based selling. Okay, I'm sat comfortably. What's my next lesson? Well, hello to you too. Not seen you for a couple of months. Want to know how you're getting on? I'm getting on. What does that even mean? I'm doing some of the stuff you've said. It's making a little bit more sense. I tend to get a bit confused. I do still get disheartened, but I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. If you're seeing this stuff for the opportunity it is, and you're talking to customers and you're helping them, then absolutely you can make a difference. Yeah, I'm making a bit of a difference. Oh, go on. Tell me how you've made a difference recently. I've started to get my head around virtual. Oh, cool. Go on. What have you been doing? Well, I've started booking more meetings. Um, I realise this is how we need to operate. I realise customers like it. I was worried that they didn't, but actually what they're saying is, yeah, we're comfortable. We do this stuff. It's making us more effective, and I recognise it's actually making me more effective. Cool. Well, that's great. That's great. So, what win have you had recently? Well, I was talking to a customer, and they said at the end of the day, that was great. That was a really valuable meeting. Boom. That's what you're about. That's the old Larry. Customers love talking to you because you understand value. I don't understand value. You do. You're really good at understanding value. Ah, no, mate, I disagree. I understand what value is. Come on, then. Value's a mystery. Yeah, I remember that training. That was so cool. When the guy said that what is value, and we all tried to tell him, and he said, well, how can you even say that? Because value is a mystery. And we all said, what do you mean? And he said, well, it depends what the customer thinks it is, and you've got to find that out. Find out what they think value is, and then show that you can deliver on that. Value's a mystery. Yeah, I remember. It just made me think of Scooby-Doo. What? Yeah, I remember in that session I was thinking value's a mystery, and I was thinking about the old Scooby-Doo van thing. Scooby-Doo van thing. It was called the Mystery Machine. Mate, you need to get out more. Come on. Oh, that's what I thought. The Mystery Machine, they had to go and they always try to find out value, and so they had to find out, who done it. It was usually the janitor. And I just thought that's a little bit like value selling. How can Scooby-Doo finding out as the janitor be about value selling? Well, they investigated, they understood, they tried to work out with the clues that they've got who it would be. Now, they had a reasonable idea who it would be, because it was always a janitor, but they never actually accused them until they'd found out. And I think that's a bit what value's like. Yeah, I suppose it is. So, is that how you sell value then? You rock up and pretend you're Scooby-Doo? No, a bit more structured than that. Oh yeah, of course, structures. Oh no, of course structures. Structures are designed to give us a game plan to do things that help us working more effectively. So what's your value framework? Same as yours. Can't remember the training. More or less, it's pretty much what you said. It's what's value and communicate it. True, but if we just break that down a little bit further, we can do a slightly better job. If you remember, we were trained to understand what value is, so work out what is that mystery, recognize that value and how people perceive that is always changing. And that step for me is really important now because of the changes that are going on. I've found that some of the accounts I'm working with, where I pretty much understood with them what value is, it's now completely changed. Now, I can't disagree with you on that. You're right. We're talking about one thing and suddenly the conversation's gone to something completely different. It is, and that's our job to understand it. So when we understand what that is, if we think about who's who, so again, we talked about decision-making units last time, didn't we? We did. How are you getting on mapping those? I've become a bit more disciplined, and you're right. The more that I dig into things, the more that I realise that there are probably more people than I'm speaking to need to be involved. Well, that's a great thing. Yeah, it's a bit disheartening. No, not disheartening at all, because when you understand that, you can do something about it. You identify who they are, and then when you understand what's important to them, that's when you differentiate. Can you remember what the guy said about differentiation on the course? Yeah, being different isn't a differentiator. Bang on. Yeah, and that stuck with me because I remember saying, "Oh, we're different this, different this, different this," and when a customer said to me, "But I don't care," actually told me that, I realised that's what he was saying. Yeah, so what matters to them? Are we different in that way, and can we package up our stuff in a way that then sets us apart and communicate it? Absolutely communicate it. Do a really good job in positioning that value so that they get it, and making sure then that they appreciate that, because we're going to have to price it. We are in business for the sake of being business. It's not about being some kind of charity. Yeah, there's a lot of pushback at the moment. People saying that they're finding it tricky, and that we need to reduce prices, and we need to do all sorts of discounting and special deals. And how are you dealing with those conversations? Not so well, I think. Well, for me, that comes back to value. Is that when we know what value is, we've captured it, we've priced it because that's what they need to buy to be able to get what it is they're after. We explain that and say, well, that's what the price is. We're back to that partnering skill thing. We're back to that win-win. We're back to understanding that we've got to be in this for mutual benefit. But because this is what you'll get from it, this is why we want to work together. We do need financial benefit. We do need benefit from it. But then we're going to make sure that we deliver on it. That for me is the structure of how we go through understanding, communicating, delivering on value. I think it boils down to that. No, it does. It does. Don't get any easier. You and your easy life. You always talk about easy life. Yeah, I know. It's just, as I say, I keep finding stuff a bit hard at the moment. It is hard. But remember, it's hard for everyone. If we can make it easier for people, that can be our value. That could be the route in. Yes, if we understand that could well be their mystery, why don't we sell on that? It's something that we can do. It's something that we can very much play to as one of our strengths. Yeah, I guess you're right. It is about hard work. It is about hard work. We've got to work hard, and we've got to work smart. Nah, that's good. I feel a bit more confident about this stuff. You should do. You're good at this. Yeah, I am. You are. Tell me again. Yeah, I'm good at this. Right. So get out there and start having those conversations that you had before with customers about how you can deliver value. Just use all of the different tools, technologies, ways of thinking that you've got at your fingertips to be of value yourself. Your conversations in themselves can be valuable. The buying experience, how they operate with Larry, is something that should start to set you apart. You can do it, mate. I can do it. Do you want to look more convinced then? Yeah, okay. I'm convinced. Yeah. Let's chat again soon. Let's do just that, mate. So it was a short conversation, or shorter than before, but no less valuable. It was about value. And Larry did leave looking a little bit more chipper. Harry was still worried about his old mucker, his old buddy. But he could see that Larry was beginning to move to the way of selling that Harry himself was finding more effective. Harry was actually doing okay. He was doing more than okay. He didn't always want to say it to Larry because he did feel a bit guilty, but it did mean that he was able to share what was making a difference to be able to move his mate along so that he could be successful too.